Welcome. I'm so happy that you are thinking about applying to the BML Coaching Online Transformation Program because it means to me that you are really serious about improving your life in the long term. Now, the program has the primary goal of helping you to add a minimum of 10 kilograms of muscle in 100 days, but also to help you foster a new positive mindset accompanied with an unshakable self-confidence and positivity which you probably never thought possible. I'm guessing you're most likely here now because you're a guy who was born as an ectomorph, that is, a guy with a small, skinny physique lacking any sort of muscular definition, and you want to add some muscle to your frame. Most likely, too, you want to learn more about why you are the person you are today and look at ways to improve your outlook, to try to look at things in a more productive and positive way, and to rid yourself of the feelings of inadequacy, of uncertainty, and if you are like me, then of jealousy too. And once and forevermore get the issues of you not being who you really want to be resolved in order for you to reach your true and full potential, to look like the absolute dog's bollocks, and to begin to embrace life, to start grabbing at all of the opportunities that come your way, but for far too long now you have been too scared to take. In this webinar, I am revealing to you everything you need to learn with the exact path that will transform you. And I promise I won't talk about everything but the relevant stuff, as many webinars do. You're probably wondering if this is worth your time. Well, here's what you could do instead of listening to me. I guess you could watch something on Netflix or some funny YouTube clips. You possibly could spend more time looking at your Facebook newsfeed or scrolling through Instagram searching for pretty images. And while not bringing much value to your life, it will give you some sort of instant gratification. Or you can listen to this training where I will show you step by step the exact way in which you can efficiently add muscle to your body and set in place a permanent shift in your mindset so that the process becomes a lifestyle and not just a phase. All of that will be covered in this webinar. You're probably wondering as well what I'm pitching to you in this webinar. You see, I know that you're probably still stuck where you were a year ago. If you're being completely honest with yourself, then maybe not much has really changed in the last 3 to 5 years. And this is exactly why I have built a VIP program in which I specifically coach my unique total body and mind optimization training system to solve the problem of how to add muscle efficiently when you're a naturally skinny guy or a guy who struggles to get any muscular definition, and how to increase levels of self-confidence, self-worth and self-esteem. However, I am very selective on who I coach because I can't help everybody. If I think you're a good fit, you will be personally invited. If not, I am still going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to get some awesome results. So yes, I am going to make you an offer at the end of the webinar, but it's because I know you need it and it can make your life a whole deal better. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Miles Cuthbert, and unlike many webinars, I am now going to tell you a bit about me, rather than tell you I won't bore you with my story and then boring you with my story for the next 15 minutes. At least you know now. And the reason it is hugely relevant to why I am the top guy in my field. I am a coach who specializes in helping guys in their 30s and 40s who have either probably struggled in the past to add muscle to their physique or have never had the courage to try, to once and for all understand how to change their bodies in the way they want to and to look unbelievably great, often significantly better than they did when they were in their 20s, which will then inevitably have huge impacts on numerous other areas of their life in a 100% positive way. I was, and or I always will be, a naturally skinny guy, but from as far back as I can recall, I always loved sports and exercise, and I played a number of sports to a relatively high standard as a kid. I went to university to do a sports studies degree, and as at that time in my life, I wanted to get into sports psychology. However, after successfully completing my degree, life sort of got in the way of my dreams, and I went down a completely different path to the one I had envisaged. Some of this was okay, a lot of it really pretty bad, but now that I can look back on those times and realise that all of my mistakes and failings have made me the person I am today, and my vast spectrum of experiences have definitely made me a much, much better coach. About 6 years ago, feeling pretty demoralised and uninspired and suffering from a relatively mild form of depression. And after working in a number of different jobs, from computer programming to being a driving instructor, none of which I ever really liked, and being a chronic drug addict for over 15 years, I decided that enough was enough. I had to change. I knew I wanted to lead a more fulfilling and productive life, and in order to do so, I needed to earn a living doing something that I truly believed in, something that would keep me busy and on the straight and narrow, so that I could finally realise my full potential and give 100% to whatever profession I chose. My love of physical exercise and activity had never gone, and it became obvious to me to qualify as a personal trainer so that I could be involved in helping people reap the enjoyment and rewards that I felt during and after exercise. So I did this, and within a few weeks of qualifying, found myself working the gym floor in a local leisure centre. Being an employee, I was simply told who to train, and so at that time I was working with all sorts of people. It was during these initial few months that I had my first big revelation. I noticed that a few of my clients and a significant number of the other trainers' clients would train for a month, for 6 weeks, 3 months, maybe even a bit longer, but eventually, for whatever reason, they would quit. The question was why. So, after many hours of reading, talking, and most importantly, listening, I discovered that it was nearly always due to the client's lack of clarity in what they were trying to achieve and their high levels of confusion surrounding their varying workout routines and their new diet, together with a closed, unproductive mindset. It became absolutely glaringly obvious to me that in order to create a really top-class fitness program for a client, I had to learn about the way the mind works. And so I did. About 6 months into my personal training and getting very interested in some of the social sciences, it became obvious that my dream job wasn't quite working out to be my dream job. And why? The simple reason, and forgive me if you're an ex-client of mine, was that I couldn't find much drive or motivation to work with people that weren't motivating me. In fact, after a few months, I had made a decision that the people who I really wanted to help, because I personally had experienced the pain and association with their issues, were the guys who are exactly like me. The guys with no muscular definition whatsoever, the guys lacking in confidence and self-esteem, the ones who don't make the most of their lives, but the ones who were now ready to change and help them to change into completely superior versions of themselves, muscular, confident, and ready to face life head on. I wanted to help those people, as I knew the impact becoming a better version of myself had had on not only my physique, but also on many far-reaching facets of my life in general. You may be wondering, well, what are my qualifications and why should you listen to me? I've spent over 5 years developing and building this system, the Total Body and Mind Optimization Training System, called it TBMOT. And I've spent thousands of pounds honing my craft, becoming the specialist in this field as far as I'm concerned. I'm not only a fully qualified fitness instructor and personal trainer, I am also a certified online trainer, an NLP practitioner, a CBT practitioner, together with significant life experience as a life coach, but perhaps and most importantly, and I truly believe this is what makes me the #1 coach in my field, I have lived through the problem and the pain and have found the path to finally solve the specific issues for guys like me. I'm here to change the way you set limits on your life, to change the way you view yourself and the world around you, to radically improve the shape of your body, and to help you set these new habits to be permanent, resulting in a new, invigorating and rewarding lifestyle. I want to help you move out of the shadows and into the light and finally become the man you want to be. So on today's training, you'll be learning about my t.he system, and it's broken down into 4 key steps. Step 1, assessments and goal setting. Step 2, shift mindset. Step 3, take action, focused training. And step 4, educate and support. The first step in the t.he system is assessment and goal setting. We need to establish exactly where you are today regarding both your physical and mental states. We then have a starting point and begin to identify the specific areas that you want to improve. We will set out your short, medium, and possibly even long-term goals for the months, possibly years ahead. Without knowing where you start your journey from, it really is completely impossible to create a unique program designed just for you, as we haven't got the foundations in place. Think of it like this. If you'd ask someone how to get to place A, and they ask you, where are you starting from? And your reply is that you don't know, how can they ever give you accurate instructions on how to get to your desired destination? They can't. And that principle applies here too. But once we know where you are, we can then much more accurately design the program around meeting your exact objectives. The objectives or goals will always be what we call SMART goals and hard goals, and will lay the foundations for your upcoming transformation. Having particular targets to work towards adds clarity and certainty, guarantees that we are pulling in the same direction, and means that there can be no confusion down the line about whether or not the program has been a success. We will literally be able to look and see. The final part of this stage is to determine what potential obstacles you're likely to face, and then devise the relevant coping strategies so that you're in the absolute best position to begin your program. It really does baffle me when fitness programs just jump in on day one with your workout and nutrition without ever taking the time to find out where you are, what makes you tick, how we can use that as a drive and motivation, and finally, what you hope to achieve. Without stage 1, the assessment and goal setting, it would be a bit like the blind leading the blind. Not only would I have no idea of what you want to get from the program, I would have no idea of how you view yourself, the position that you're currently in, and where you would like to get when you finish. You would start a workout regime without any real aims other than to get bigger at some point in the future. You'd have no way to know how you were doing and whether or not you are hitting your targets. And because you wouldn't have set any, you'd be completely unprotected from the bumps in the road that you'll inevitably face along the way. Without stage 1, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because you don't have this step sorted, you're currently experiencing that feeling of being stuck, with life just passing you by, and you have no real way of stopping this. Without setting goals, it's inevitable that you won't maximize your potential, and you'll move from one lackluster effort to another. Your confidence is low and your life suffers as a result. You don't know the best way to get your body looking the way you want it to, and even if you did, how will you know if you are making appropriate progress? You feel lost, you feel stuck, and you don't know what advice is worth listening to, and this makes you feel isolated and dejected. Those feelings of desperation will kick in, and that's when hope dies and you fall back into your mediocre life, just getting by while lots of people around you are making the most out of every opportunity life gives them. Wouldn't you like that to be you? Well, with some drive and commitment that admittedly must come from you, it can be, and it is as simple as that. This step is the foundational soil which you build upon. Once we have assessed where you are, where you want to go, and worked out how you'll get there, the assessment and goal setting stage draws to a conclusion. However, continual assessments of your progress and re-evaluating and resetting short-term goals is an ongoing process, and one that will make reaching your objectives seem far less overwhelming and much more possible. So to sum up stage one, these are the things that you will do. You will complete an assessment which will delve into where you currently are, both physically and emotionally. You will begin to understand why you are where you are and the associated behaviours that got you there. We will also figure out what drives you and what resonates with you at a really deep level in order to keep you motivated and to give you focus when things get tough. You will then think about where you want to be when the 100 days is up in more detail, and consequently establish the smart and hard goals you are setting both in the short and medium term. Once that's done, you will then use your own experiences mixed with our experiences to help you to forecast the likely stumbling blocks that you'll face during your time in the program, and knowing the possible obstacles will create the relevant coping strategies so that your progress is minimally affected should you hit a problem. During the first 12 days, you will also take the time to record everything you eat in 7 successive days so that when your training begins, we will be able to advise you on your diet. Step 2, the second stage, is known as shift mindset. This is concerned with ensuring that you have the right positive mindset that you'll need to achieve the primary outcome of the program, that is adding 10 kilograms of muscle to your body. We use what is known as the BML coaching mindset technique, which is a combination of NLP, CBT, life coaching and personal experience, and has had dramatic effects on both the way I think and the way my clients think and behave in both the short and long term. With the wrong attitude or lack of understanding as to why you want to improve your body and mind, so in other words your entire existence, it would be very easy to come unstuck very quickly. If you're not driven or you lack the understanding of what truly motivates you, getting through those cold winter training days is going to be a real test. And with the wrong mindset, a test that you're most likely to fail. We no longer want you living with a victim's mindset, blaming others for your mundane life and skinny body, and we aim to make procrastination a thing of the past, encouraging you to constantly be taking positive action. It is vitally important that you are motivated by factors that actually resonate with you on a deep level and aren't simply a whim or a passing desire. When we identify the things that are driving you forward, the high levels of motivation that are an absolute must for the program will come from a place deep within you, from a place where you really care about hitting your targets. We help you to stop procrastinating and instead to take positive action. Consequently, reaching the short-term goals we set in stage 1 won't prove problematic. You'll be given some simple tasks to complete in the first 12 days in order to ensure that when you start the workouts, you understand and are beginning to adopt the required mindset. And as with stage 1, we will keep re-evaluating. Stage 2 is exactly the same. We will continue to help you not only maintain this positive winner type mindset so crucial to your success, but also to build upon it until it becomes second nature. This really will have a massive impact on all aspects of your life. Tacky as it may sound, the possibilities for you are endless. Think about this and keep in mind that this is one of the major factors that makes the BML coaching online transformation program not only better, but also very different from nearly all other fitness programs in the marketplace today. Rather than purely training your body and hoping you'll have the right mindset, we work on your body and your mind to encourage permanent behavior change and new habits for life. With all of the training DVDs available to buy and all of the Instagram and YouTube clips showing beefy guys and their training techniques, the world is inundated with information on how to train. So with that being the case, why is there a huge obesity crisis And why do less than 10% of people say they don't like their body? It doesn't make sense until you look a bit deeper and realize that the best ever training video is only the best ever training video if the person who bought it actually watches it and carries out its instruction to the letter every single day. As soon as they start missing days, which they undoubtedly will if they haven't forged the necessary mindset, the changes they hope to see in their body are never going to take place. And as a result, their motivation starts to drop, excuses start to come into play, and before you know it, the DVD is put back in the cupboard, never to see the light of day again. Or they possibly may watch a session from the comfort of their armchair at best to make them feel good. And this is most commonly due to the wrong attitude, having recurring destructive behaviours which haven't been identified but which continually sabotage progress and personal growth. When you shift your mindset to a place of positivity, of accountability, of determination and of growth, you can start to see amazing things happen, which means that your chances of completing the program increase with every day you are on it. Think of it a bit like this. Would you get your car all glitz and glammed up with new wheels and an awesome body kit and racing seats, the best sound system available, but then go and put a go-kart's engine in it? No, it just wouldn't make sense. And that's what I'm saying about trying to change yourself on the outside if you don't also sort out what's going on the inside. You see, currently, what you're doing is you're living your life with a closed mindset, not open to new ideas and stuck in the same place that you were 6 months, a year or longer ago. I did exactly the same for years and years. And that's why your life hasn't moved on. Again, I was exactly the same. I lived my life blaming other people, cursing my luck and having the victim's mindset. It wasn't until I had some counselling and then started learning about the effect the mind can have on our lives that I began to change the way I thought about things and how I chose to lead my life. With the right mindset, possibilities really are endless. New opportunities will present themselves to you as you begin to open yourself to the possibilities around you. Not blaming others for your lack of success, but rather taking responsibility is a massive sign of maturity and always strive for in our program. The new frame of mind will leave you feeling more positive, and many clients state that they feel an increase in energy levels too. And having set your goals and beginning to shift your mindset, you'll feel like you are finally moving in the right direction that you actually chose to go in, and this will benefit you in so many new ways. The number one thing all successful people have in common is that they admit to changing their mindset and begin to really believe in themselves. And as they do, they start to see success. When you take ownership of your life and categorically know that how it runs its path is not a matter of luck, but nearly all down to the way you think and act, you're moving in the right direction. And in our program, we help you to start believing in yourself, help you to be open to fresh ideas, and to start identifying the negative behaviors caused by your old mindset that have stopped you from growing as a person, both physically and mentally. Because you operate on a day-to-day basis under a closed negative victim's mindset, you miss or refuse the opportunities to grow as a person and stay stuck in the same place. If you could only adopt a different way to think about yourself, you could start achieving some really special things. But until you commit to change, you'll remain in the same place. Now, that isn't the easy option, is it? It's where you're most comfortable, as you've lived in this way for so long, even though you claim not to like it. Changing how you behave can be scary. If you finally decide to grab the bull by the horns and take life head on, you'll start to accept new challenges and try new things, which means you're quite like to fail, aren't you? Particularly at the start. But one thing I can guarantee, if you don't open your mind and you continue to lack the courage to try new things, then you are absolutely guaranteed to never ever succeed. And I'm guessing that you don't want that, do you? After all, this life of yours isn't a dress rehearsal. When you start to shift your mindset, you will begin to look at your life in a different way. The more of a growth mindset you can take on, the more you'll grow as a person and see opportunities as things to be excited about and not things to shy away from. When you understand that failing is just a type of learning and not something negative, providing that you don't give up, and accept that you are going to fail because failure is inevitable, everyone fails from time to time, you'll be able to take on new challenges with a refreshing, positive and creative attitude without the damaging voices in your head asking, what if you fail? Or what if it makes you look stupid? Or maybe you can't do this, you're dumb, and stopping you from having a go. Inside of step number 2, the shift mindset, you will need to be open to new ideas. You will start to let the uncontrollable things in your life affect you less, as there is absolutely nothing that you can do about them. What you can control is how much effort you put in. And if you always try as hard as possible, then you'll see that there is no reason for regret or self-criticism, even if you fail from time to time, which you will. So to summarize, step 2, you are going to start shifting the way you view yourself, your relationships and the world around you in order to start fostering a new, positive, open and productive mindset. No longer will you put your mundane and boring life and skinny physique down to bad luck. You'll begin to take responsibility for whatever happens. Understand that the more you put in will generally mean the more you get out, and as a result will actually start to accomplish some of your goals that you set out in step 1. The changing mindset will have real advantages in your life away from the program too. Think about how different your working life could be if you decided to behave in a more productive and positive way and were far more open and receptive to new ideas. No doubt your colleagues would notice this change in you, and it can only be to your benefit. More job opportunities, improved relationships, more job satisfaction, and who knows, maybe even a more serious role with a bigger salary. And don't think this is mumbo jumbo. I know of numerous instances where this has happened, and there's no reason why it can't happen to you too. And it's the same with your relationships as well. A new, confident and proactive, happy version of yourself can only help you to strengthen your friendships and relationships. Step 3 in the BML coaching total body and mind optimization training system is what we call focus training. And in this step, we always follow the philosophy, particularly at the start of the program, of keep it simple. Too much information is totally pointless and will inevitably lead to confusion, to a lack of clarity, and the likely result is this: a huge drop in your motivation levels. We stay away from this issue by ensuring you are clear and content with your workouts, striving to drip feed you only the relevant info as and when you need it, so as never to overwhelm you with unnecessary bump. Unlike a lot of programs, we are not about information. We are solely about transformation. Step 3 is the time when we will start you on your actual workouts and advise you on your nutrition. It goes without saying that if you were born as an ectomorph, that is a person with a lean and delicate build of body, and if you don't do much physical activity, or perhaps more specifically don't partake in resistance training, and if you don't eat a massive amount of food, as you often don't feel particularly hungry, it doesn't take a genius to realise that it probably isn't worth entering Miss Universe or the world's strongest man anytime soon. You will inevitably have a skinny physique, no muscular definition, childlike strength, and this often leads to low self-esteem and low confidence, and increasing levels of stress and resentment. But we can change that. Steps 1 and 2 will continue to change organically as you change as a man, and will have put you in a position where you are absolutely crystal clear on what your goals are, how you'll achieve them, and what you'll do if you start to struggle. Your shifting mindset will allow you to look at the present and the future in a more positive way, and to completely understand, and perhaps more importantly, fully believe that the past is the past and has no influence on your future. Your growing self-belief, confidence, and clarity will mean that productivity in the gym is absolutely maximized, because you completely understand and believe in what you need to do and have the required drive and determination to do it. We will introduce you to the physical part of the TBMOT system, which we call the BML, power, and hench training systems. Most clients experience increases in their appetites, and after only a week or two, along with startling gains in strength and rapid muscle development, even in the early weeks, without even working on your mind. It's easy to see why your levels of confidence will start to rise, while your levels of stress begin to fall. After all, your body will begin to look more like you want it to, and that alone fires up confidence and reduces anxiety. All in all, a great way to move forward. Your workouts and nutrition guides will be delivered to you at the start of each week through our BML coaching fitness app. It will show you what exercises to do on any given day, how many to do, and the form you should be trying to replicate as you do them. Every single exercise has a set of guidelines for you to familiarize yourself with, and also a video demonstrating how to perform the exercise, so that you are fully aware of what to do, even if you have done very little or even no resistance training before. In the first 3 weeks of your focus training, you'll be in power training phase 1. This aims to increase your strength as quickly as possible to prepare you for hench training phase A. As I said before, we will continue to work on your mindset. In this first power training phase, we look at any recurring behaviours that sabotage progress and growth, and clear them out using a variety of techniques. Once we hit weeks 4 to 8, you are in hench training phase A. That is maximising muscle growth in your workouts and working on your mind to help you develop a sharp focus on your goals and ensuring that you are operating at your maximum levels. In weeks 9 to 10, we flow back into power training phase 2, where we once again look to boost your strength, so that hench training phase B in weeks 11 to 14 is totally optimized. We will also be showing you ways to anchor your newly found positivity and growth mindset that will continue to open doors for you throughout the rest of your life. As we reach the end of the hench training phase B, we will be ensuring that you're able to hit all of your targets you set in step 1, so that you reach your desired state by the end of the program. During the weeks where you're working out, we will give you advice on your diet. Some guys want very detailed plans with all of the required nutritional values set out for them to follow to the letter, and if that's you, that's absolutely fine, we can do that. However, some people just want a rough guide about their diet to check that they are getting the correct proportions of protein, carbohydrates, and fats to create a calorific surplus to maximize muscle growth. And again, if you just want some basic guidelines, that's fine too. What you eat is completely up to you. At BML Coaching, we truly believe that you're very unlikely to get the body of your dreams if you don't change the way you think. That is why we continue to work with you on your mind during a number of days each week. If we can optimize the way you think and behave and understand where to focus, then it follows that your workouts will be optimized too. So our training, i.e. our power and our hench training phases, are designed to absolutely maximize the end result. That is you finishing up with a body that has at least 10 kilograms more of muscle than when you started the program, but also with a completely different and more productive creative and open growth mindset. The fact that you can apply what you learn in the program in your real life away from the weights and the gym will have a potentially massive impact, whether that be in your personal or professional life. Things that you didn't even consider 3 months ago are now things you see completely differently. And this obviously opens up enormous possibilities for you. So to sum up step 3, the BML focused training, take action. You are going to go through 2 phases of power training and 2 phases of hench training. And at the end of the 4 phases, you will look and feel like a completely different man. These 4 phases totally maximize the amount of muscle that you gain. Also, as I've already stated, alongside the power and hench training sessions, we'll be using the BML mindset training system to develop the way you think and therefore act, resulting in you maximizing results in the gym, achieving all of the goals that you previously set out for yourself, and taking you into unexplored and incredibly exciting new territories in other parts of your life as your body's growth syncs with your mind's growth. Finally, we assist you in knowing what to eat and when to eat in order to get the most from the food that you consume. Here at BML Coaching, we like to think, all in all, a pretty comprehensive and complete training system. Okay, so on to the final step in the TBMOT system, step 4, and this is a step that will be in place from day one. It is our philosophy to educate and support you from the word go. At no time in the program should you feel alone or feel that you're not sure what to do. We aim to lay out in simple terms, ones that you easily understand exactly what is required of you when you need to do it. If at any time you aren't sure what to do, you can contact us through our training app and we will always respond within 24 hours, sometimes quicker. This means at no time will your progress begin to stall, as whatever issue you have, we will help you to resolve it almost instantly. The other aspect of step 4 is to continue to educate you both in terms of physical training techniques but also on the mental side too, helping you to understand yourself on a much more congruent and deeper level using techniques from the BML mindset training system, and in turn that will enable you to get the most out of every situation that you're in. Though one of our key philosophies is to keep things simple, especially during the first few weeks of the program, we still aim to provide you with relevant and useful training techniques on top of your workouts and snippets of info to maximize the way you train and the way you think. As each individual has different goals and different issues, our emphasis on education is very far-reaching, and we will only provide things that will improve your situation specifically, never information for the sake of it. Our support and education is key to ensuring that you complete the program and make the most of every opportunity. We won't let you feel isolated. Our instructions will be simple, clear and precise, and mean that you don't need to search for additional resources. We give you absolutely everything you require for a full transformation. As I've mentioned before, the best training in the world is only the best if the person completes it every day. And with this step in place, any struggles that you start to experience, whether that be a lack of motivation, maybe you're finding it hard to fit in your workouts as life is getting in the way, or you get injured, whatever the case, we will be with you every step of the way, helping you to find the answers to your own problems. On the BML coaching program, we don't tell you what workouts to do and then leave you to it. We'll always have your back, and we pride ourselves on it. That said, we will never mollycoddle you, as ultimately that will not end up helping you long term. We help you to mature and take responsibility for yourself. Being too reliant on someone or something is never a good position to be in. But knowing we will always assist you to help you solve your own issues can be very reassuring. At BML Coaching, we truly believe that when you understand who you are and where you want to go, when you start shifting the way you think into a much more productive, positive and creative way and become open to new ideas whilst also being continually supported and educated on the things relevant to your progress and development, the workout part of the program becomes so much easier to complete. The combination of steps 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the BML Coaching t.he training system add up to the most comprehensive and most effective training program available in the marketplace today for men in their 30s and 40s who want to add significant muscle to their body whilst at the same time generating positivity and confidence. So, just to recap on everything I've covered in today's training. Step 1, assessments and goal setting, where you find out where you are, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there. Step 2, shift mindset. So this is beginning to shift your mindset. In other words, starting to think in terms that will benefit you and not hinder you. Step 3, taking action, or in our focus training, is working your body in the gym and opening your mind away from it, using the BML power and hench training systems together with the BML mindset training system to maximize strength and muscle growth, whilst also developing your thought patterns to help you be much more productive, to feel better about yourself and to really believe in yourself and what you are doing. And finally, step 4, our continual education and support, which we will keep you at the forefront of training techniques, both physical and psychological, whilst also providing any assistance you need when you come up against an obstacle that you don't know how to overcome, or if you simply want a bit of advice. We are always with you on your journey. The BML Coaching t.he system is very simply foolproof and has the potential to dramatically affect the way you live your life in the most positive and beneficial way possible. This is why the BML Coaching Roadmap, in other words, our unique total mind, body and mind optimization training system, is different than anything you've ever tried before. You see, if you have tried to get a better body in the past, you've obviously failed as you're taking the time to listen to me now. And to be fair on you, it was highly likely that you would fail. Most people do. And that's why less than 10% of the population say they like their body. But with the t.he system, if you fulfill your side of the commitment, success is just about guaranteed. So yes, if you decide to jump into the program, we do guarantee your results, providing that you show you have put in the effort. Think about that. So you may well be thinking, how can this be applied to you specifically? And this is where our coaching call comes in. I will apply the BML coaching system to meet your exact requirements and tailor our system to ensure that you reach your goals. And our goal is your success. If you would like to apply for a call, then please complete the application form below, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.